There is nothing else like it. You know this because you have felt it. That moment when someone walks into a room and something in you, something you didn't ask permission from, simply shifts. Your chest changes, your thoughts narrow, the rest of the world becomes briefly background noise. You didn't choose it, you couldn't explain it, and no amount of logic could talk you out of it. That is not weakness, that is not irrationality. That is your brain doing something it was designed to do, with every chemical system it has, all at once. Let's start with attraction, because attraction is where love begins, and it begins far earlier than most people realize. Before the first conversation, before the first touch, sometimes before you've even consciously registered a person's face. Your brain has already been processing. The nervous system picks up microsignals, the way someone moves, the particular quality of their voice, something in their presence that resonates with patterns your brain has been building your entire life. And when those signals align, when something in another person matches something your brain has been, without knowing it, looking for, dopamine fires. Not gently, substantially. The same dopamine surge that drives ambition and motivation, and the hunger to move towards something good, fires in the presence of this person. And your brain begins to associate them with reward. This is why new love makes ordinary things feel extraordinary, why food tastes better, why music lands differently, why you find yourself awake at 2 a.m. not anxious, but alive in a way that daily life rarely touches. Your entire reward system has found a new center of gravity. Then comes what people call the butterflies. And here is what is actually happening in your body in those moments. Noradrenaline floods your system, your heart rate rises, your palms may become slightly damp, your attention narrows completely onto this one person. You become neurologically hyper-aware of them. Every detail registers, the way they laugh, the particular way they look at you when they're listening, the small things they do without noticing. This is not infatuation in a trivial sense. This is your nervous system running a full assessment. It is asking with every tool it has, is this person safe? Is this person real? Can I trust what I'm feeling? The butterflies are not just excitement. They are your entire being paying attention. And then, if trust begins to build, if time passes, if the person is still there and still themselves, something deeper activates. Oxytocin, the bonding chemical, released through touch, through eye contact held just a moment longer than usual, through the particular safety of being known by another person and not being left. Oxytocin is what transforms attraction into attachment. It is what makes a specific person feel, over time, like home. Not just someone you want, someone you belong with. Now here is something profound that most people never think about. The love you feel for a romantic partner and the love you first received from a parent, they run on the same neurological tracks. The first bond you ever formed with a mother, a father, a primary caregiver, laid down the original blueprint for how love feels inside your body. What safety feels like, what closeness feels like, what it feels like to be seen. And your nervous system has been carrying that blueprint ever since. This is why certain people feel immediately familiar, even when you've just met them. Why some connections feel like recognition rather than discovery. I knowed you, I don't know how I knowed you, but I knowed you. That feeling is not imagination. It is your nervous system finding a resonance with something it has been holding for a very long time. And this is also, gently, honestly, why we sometimes choose people who are not good for us. Not because we are broken, but because the nervous system equates familiar with safe. Even when familiar means anxious, even when familiar means uncertain, even when familiar means the particular kind of longing that never quite resolves. The brain learned love in a specific shape, and it goes looking for that shape. Understanding this, really sitting with it, is one of the most compassionate things you can do for yourself. You were not foolish, you were following a map drawn before you had any say in the drawing. So how do you recognize the real thing? Not the one that is merely familiar, not the one that feels electric because it mirrors an old wound, but the one that is actually right for you. Here is what the research and the oldest wisdom and the accounts of people who have found it keep returning to. Real love does not feel like constant turbulence, it feels like expansion. You feel more like yourself around them, not less. You feel safer in your own skin, not more vigilant. You can be honest without engineering the response. You can be quiet without filling the silence. You can have needs without feeling like those needs are too much. The attraction is there, but underneath, it is something that doesn't require urgency. A kind of deep okayness in their presence. Your nervous system, rather than being heightened into anxiety, settles. This is what the body knows before the mind can name it. And the love between a parent and a child, that love is something different again. It is the first love, the one that asks for nothing in return, the one that exists before you have done anything to earn it. When that love is present and consistent, it does something extraordinary to the developing brain. It builds a foundation of safety so deep that the child carries it into adulthood as an inner resource. A sense that they are fundamentally okay. That the world is, at its core, survivable. That they are worthy of being loved, not because of what they achieve, but because they exist. This is not sentiment, this is neuroscience. The quality of early love shapes the architecture of the brain. Literally, the circuits built in those early years determine how easily trust comes, how deeply connection can be felt, how quickly the nervous system returns to calm after disruption. And so love, in all its forms, is not just a feeling. It is construction. It builds something inside you. Something that stays. Even when the person is gone. Even when the relationship ends. Even when the loss is so significant, you cannot imagine the space ever being filled. What was built by love remains. In the next video, we go into exactly that, what happens inside the brain and body when love is lost, and why the pain of it is not something to escape, but something to move through. Because what is on the other side of that is something extraordinary. Subscribe and press the bell icon, because next time we go somewhere most people avoid, and it's the most important place to go.